Let me ask you this. You're coming from the streets of LA, and then all of a sudden you're on tour with 50 and Young Buck. And I know that you have your own opinions of them that I guess we can get into over time. But early on, did it appear to you, you being a guy who's, born and bred straight up LA shit, you have a certain definition on what it is to be a man. Did it start to occur to you early on that something might be a little weird about these guys? No?
It took some time.
Okay.
It took that much time at least. I was that convinced.
What's the fist symbolize here?
Look good.
Oh, the G unit tattoo. Exactly, right.
So
okay.
I was convinced that I was with some real dudes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? At least I thought I was banging with a decent group till they left the loke hanging when I beefed with Snoop.
How'd that go down?
Well, actually, because Snoop told me, G-Unit can't say you cuz. I was having some back and forth with Doja. He told me he wasn't with it. He running the West Coast, and he don't care what nobody think. That I couldn't do that, and he had the West Coast on lock, and if I had issues with Doja, that was his homeboy. He wasn't going for it. Uh-huh. And I guess that scared 50.
So you think that's what made 50 sort of separate from you, is you having issues with Snoop?
Yeah, 50 he keeps Snoop nuts in his mouth. Uh-huh. He worships Snoop. So he was scared of Snoop. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Snoop scared him.
That's interesting though, because it feels like not like in recent times, we're talking about like early 2000s, very few people do you really hear them come out and say that they've had beef with Snoop. It feels like he got into that like grandfatherly role pretty early.
I mean, he's usually non-confrontational. And I admit that me, myself, personally, I allowed the influence of Suge Knight to cause me to say some derogatory things toward him that I would guess probably should not have been done. So I made it my business once I got down with G-Unit, knowing that he was affiliated with them in a positive sense. I approached him as a man and, offered my apologies. And we were supposedly cool. Everything was 100. He told me, keep it Crip cuz it ain't nothing. He did a record for my debut album on G-Unit. And the next thing I knew, he was on interviews dissing me because I was having issues with Game. I mean, Doja. So, through the years, just because, I got the reputation of being a fuck up the high head, and then that Snoop Dogg. The issues were the issues, but I've put them aside tons of times and attempted to mend them. But it seems as if that is something that he chose, it was something going on that I wasn't really aware of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Do you ever look at a situation like that and feel like Snoop ended up siding with Game in that situation just because Game was the bigger artist and it was more beneficial to him career-wise?
Dr. Dre, all that affiliation. My thing is this. You could have, Snoop Dogg held a position. Now I see how the game is, the way the networking and affiliations. He could have had all those concerns and got at me. We had spoken before. We had communicated. The thing about it is I hear this on an interview. I get on the phone with him. We hash it out. Then you'll see 3 months later, it's another interview with him was speaking derogatory of me. You know what I'm saying? So I just didn't understand it.
Interesting. Okay, so
he told me via internet, I have the clip in my phone. He fucked with me because 50 Cent fucked with me. I'm from East Side Crip, homie. Born in Compton. Compton and Long Beach together, now you know you're in trouble.
Does that seem weird to you? Like, as an LA dude, to fuck with me because I'm fucking with this New York cat?
That is extremely weird. That makes your Cripping super corny. On top of the fact that you just recently claimed that this gay entertainer that likes to flip, I think he was an ex-Power Ranger. He's on social media. He has a personality. He does a lot of little skits and stuff. Only reason I'm aware of him is because Snoop Dogg posted him on his page for about a week straight, claiming that he was super gay's cuz #1 fan. That's not Crippin' at all. So it's like, through the years, no matter how, I always think if I approach, when you think of Snoop Dogg, you think super Crip, boom, bam. That establishes a protocol to where I know how I can never be wrong with you if you a Crip. If that's what you are, I know how to deal with you. So when I see you do things, there's a large range of things that are accepted, but there's certain things that just baffle me that make me say, I don't know what he on. French tips, I don't get it.
Right. The world has gotten a lot friendlier to homosexuals and such over the years.
You
Maybe
have to.
gang banging has been probably pretty resistant to that largely. Do you feel like you're kind of viewed as like old school because you clearly think that stuff has no place in your culture?
I haven't spoken about the place it has in the culture.
Okay.
I'm talking about an individual such as Snoop Dogg claiming that he's that dude's number one fan. When I have 3 sons in the Snoop Dogg Youth Football League, I find that a conflict of interest, a mismatch. So if the youth, our masculinity is looking up to Snoop as some type of role model or somebody to look to as a man, for him to claim that this other dude, and you a Crip dude, I don't give a fuck. Everybody, society can't speak on Cripping. Now, society is what it is, but once we claim to be in this fraternity, we have a different rule. Now, as an individual, you can accept anyone, but for him to be the godfather of Cripping to the world and to claim to be the number one fan of the dude that I can't name right now, it doesn't work.
But Snoop's attitude would probably just be, I'm however many years old.
Yo, bad.
Gang banging don't really matter much in that specific way.
Quit doing it.
His attitude would be, who gives a fuck if this guy's gay? Who cares?
Nobody cares. But if you being his number one fan and you promoting that, you can't promote manhood to my sons.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying, and
the
I understand your perspective.
It's the same way that guy is proud to be homosexual and he promotes it. I'm proud to be heterosexual and I promote it. And I think if he's allowed to be that way, or if there's a group or a sect of people allowed to be that way, I am allowed to be the same way about my sexuality. I should be allowed to promote it with the same amount of fervor and excitement to my children.
Right.
If they're going to put the homo element in children's entertainment, like cartoons, I think I should be able to be just as expressive with my children how great heterosexual activity is.
Right, but I don't think that Snoop Dogg celebrating a gay actor or musician or whatever really is a threat on heterosexuality. I feel like
keep using words
that guy just happens to be gay.
But then an icon is claiming to be his number one fan. An icon as a football organization leader for all young men in the inner city.
Right.
He has put himself up here. So when you start making a correlation of a lot of things going together in the same group, there's certain things that don't fit in that group.
Right.
And I'm saying Cripping. I'm not speaking on nothing else.
Right.
Just if you're gonna take the Crip, just think about this, bro. If you could make an album called Make America Crip Again and a gospel album in the same year, and you got to stand for something. I was always taught stand for something to fall for anything. And so when you look at sensual seduction and other things of that, I think instead of standing for something, he's been falling for anything and doing anything. Sold his soul in front of the world on Murder Was the Case.
But don't you think he sold his soul on Murder Was the Case?
You didn't see the video?
Where he's in the casket and
lifestyle
whatnot?
to me, I'll make it better. Remember the devil came in?
You thought that was some satanic shit?
Don't say I thought. Look at what you saw. The black hair, the white face, the black fingernails.
It's just art though, right?
The voice or satanic type art.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just gonna. I'm not finna call it what it's not.
Right.
I'm not calling it other than what it is. He was riding in a car in a Jag. That crow type creature with the black hair, white face, black fingernails.
Right.
That came in his window as a black bird, sat in a chair, and then turned it to that man. Told him, "Bring your lifestyle to me. I'll make it better."
Right.
Does that sound godly?
No, but it seemed like it was almost like a reference to like a horror movie type thing. Was how I took it.
So I'm dying. The bird came in, turned into a white man. The devil looking. If that don't look like devil to you, I don't know what you call it. But he was riding in the car smoking some weed.
Right.
That dude feet turned into smoke. He hit the weed and he smoked the whole dude up in him. You know what I'm saying? Everything he said came to reality. That's not God.
Yeah. But don't you think when you look back at that, I mean, I look at that as like, you know, a lot of people in the rap game have taken the bad things that were happening in their personal life and then managed to spin it in an entertaining way. And when I look at that situation, I'm like, Snoop was dealing with a real deal murder case, and he managed to make videos that referenced it that people at home just thought was dope. They liked the artistry of it regardless. And I agree with you that it's kind of crazy because we are talking about somebody losing their life.
Artistic or creative.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about the spiritual overtones. You can't deny them. Nobody, I mean, you can call it and you can describe it and justify it however you choose. I'm not here to pass judgment on it. I am just reminding you what you saw. Now, if you can say you saw that and didn't see anything that represented somebody selling their soul, hey, all right.
But do you think that the world at large is generally just not really concerned with that kind of stuff in the way that maybe your prior generations were?
That might be true.
Yeah.
But Snoop is older than me. So
Right.
our generation is more similar than this new generation.
Do you think the money changed him? The fame kind of made him forget about stuff like that you might?
Man, y'all gotta understand, first of all, if you look at his age when he got started and what he became to the world as this super active, experienced Crip, he never really had the time to live that life. If you knew the real backdrop stories of things that he was going through in death row,
Really?
yeah, a lot of things took place that he wasn't proud of.
Yeah.
As a man, as a gangbanger, getting spit on planes. They kind of went, they didn't do it right on his movie. He got spit on by
Really?
Pooh Rider. The nigga that be with Wack 100.
Right.
Yeah, he spit on him on the plane.
I mean, you see that from
Logie.
Dre, same thing. You saw Dre get so wrapped
Dre
up in the
ain't no
death row
Crip,
thing,
though.
and then he falls back, and he's been in the studio for 30
But
years.
Dre never been a Crip.
Right. It's
Never been a blood. He's always been an artist. And when
Right.
you knew he was doing the gangster stuff, you knew he was performing.
Right.
So, you know, Dre goes by, he gets a whole nother standard.
Right. What's the status of you on Wack 100?
Wack no 100. That's what I meant
Not
to
a
say.
fan, huh?
Now, what is there to be fan
And he
of?
was recently coming at YG tough. You see
Yeah,
that?
I seen that, man.
That was interesting because Blueface did a video with YG like a week before that.
But that's Wack's MO. What else do you know about Wack other than he's had interaction with other men and most of them negative?
Right.
What else? There's nothing else to know about.
There's a lot of that is what we know him for, interacting with people on social media, going at people's heads.
That's it. And then even when he's speaking positive, he's always speaking about another nigga. There's no accolades to speak about himself until now. He's attached to a successful project. For the last 10 years, however long you've been seeing him establish himself, it's always about having another nigga name in his mouth.
When did you guys start to have a problem? What did it start with?
The day I met him, he told me, man, I'm fucking on your old bitch, man. I put her through nursing school and put her through bought her some braces. She look way better now, though. And that was funny too.
What year was that?
This was like 2000.
He said that to you. And was it true?
Yeah, it was somebody. Wasn't my old bitch.
Girl
One of my
you used to fuck
homegirls.
with?
Yeah, I
Okay.
fucked with. She from my hood. 976. Love you, boo. That's my loc though. That's my homegirl. I was a young nigga fresh out the pen. We gangbangers. We from the same set.
That's a wild confrontational ass thing to say to somebody.
Yeah, but assuming that was my girl.
Right, but he probably knew it wasn't really your girl, and he was still saying it just to
He was trying to
test
see
the waters, see
trying
what
to
you were
what I
about.
was
Yeah.
gonna say. See if I was gonna talk about what I've done with her and all that, which ain't my thing.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, that's the homegirl. Shook his hand, whatever. So I thought that was it. But however, for the last decade or 15 years plus, every time I bump into Wack, he mentioned her.
Really?
If I have a new person with me and introduce him, the last time I can remember, I had my homie from 6ix9ine with me. Last time I seen him, I'm like, this my homie from 6ix9ine, East Coast. Oh, my wife from East Coast. Yeah, I put it through nursing school and brought her braces. Though he used to fuck with her. It's something that's always on the tip of his tongue. He's a buster for that. So I've always knew he was a weirdo for that. So you know, I never liked him for that, but I've dealt with him. You know, chestnut checkers. A lot of pieces you let stay on the board for a long time. You know, just because.
But
by the time you get to the game, you still need something to knock over.
But it's like risen up to the social media type level.
He
where y'all-
lied on me, man.
What'd he say?
I looked up on the internet and he was talking about someday he was in Hollywood. He got a phone call from Doja saying that I had him surrounded. And Doja called for help. He said he was with Suge Knight. And him and Suge Knight had a conversation about should they go. Suge like, we ain't going over there. Mobb Deep was supposedly involved. And I had me and Mobb Deep and some OG unit niggas had Doja surrounded in Beverly Hills.
At a hotel in Santa Monica?
Thank you.
Somebody told me to ask you
Thank
about that.
you.
Yeah.
Wack No Honey told the world that I was finna do something, and he had time to get a phone call, argue with Suge Knight, and show up and diffuse a situation. Nobody that knows me would believe that.
Right.
What am I waiting on? What was going on all this time we was waiting on you to show up? I was never there. I have no recollection of this.
Oh, so you weren't even there at all?
Never have been there.
Oh, wow.
So when I seen you was bold enough to tell that lie on me, it's fuck you, hoe ass nigga.
Do you think he knows it's not true, or you think
Yeah,
that
he knows it's not true. There was too many other people there. Supposedly, Prodigy recalls this whole story in his audiobook. My
Really?
name is not mentioned. However, my name is mentioned in the book. When there was times when my name is supposed to be relevant, my name comes up. when he tells the story, he names the people that was there. My name never comes up.
Is this the situation that 40 Glock was there for that you weren't there for? Okay. And that was the confusion because 40 Glock has talked about it a lot and claimed that he was.
You know how bad that nigga been wanting? He been arguing with Wack No 100 been accrediting that incident to me for years. 40 been screaming at the top of his lungs, that wasn't him, that was me, that was me. He want the credit for that. That's the type of nigga that would stand there, allows a nigga to make a phone call and let some niggas argue, have time to come there, get all the way to the scene and nothing ever happened. That's the type of nigga that'll do that. Not me, bruh. I'm not no extra out nigga, but if I'm there having an issue with a nigga I don't like, I'm not, Wack No 100 could never stop me from doing nothing. Then he went on the internet talking about G-Unit Crip. He said he told me, I ain't never heard of that. Nigga, what you mean? Nigga, I'm from EC G-Unit. Nigga, it was a whole clan of us. I don't give a fuck what you heard of. You are from the Valley. There's a whole lot of shit going on these East Side streets you ain't never heard of, you weirdo.
When you see him saying that shit about how YG used to claim Crip and stuff, does that mean anything to you? Do you see that as just a reach?
Let me tell you, everybody knows I had my time speaking on YG in the public. Shortly before Nipsey Hussle died, he FaceTimed me and he requested that whatever it was between me and YG, whatever issue I had, if it wasn't that big, it wasn't that deep, because of their relationship, and he explained to me why YG mattered to him so much. Things that they went through, certain events at a video shoot, day one, things that they went through, that why it mattered to him. And he said if it wasn't that big a thing, is it something that I could get over and squash? So I immediately took down all my related posts about the issues with YG, and then
out of respect for Nip.
Yeah, and I let him know. I'm like, cuz they down. I told him though that immediately was done. So I ain't got nothing to say about dude. SIP the neighborhood Nip. I love you, Lo. But beside that, Wack No 100 is a buster though, period. He's a weirdo, wherever he getting at. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. There is nobody I know in this game that has less respect than, if you're a name that's in this game, that typically comes with more respect than Wack No 100.
You don't think Wack has respect out there?
I don't even speak about what I think that much. I only deal with facts when I'm talking to other people. I could tell you about what I think and what I feel, and that's up for discussion. But I'm gonna tell you about facts. Wack No 100 has zero. Nobody gives a fuck about Wack No 100 if he's not speaking about who else he's cool with that has some respect. It's the only respect he get.
Crazy. I will say about Wack that I talked to him backstage at Blueface Show one time, told me he was down to do the interview the next morning, hit him up the next morning, did not hit me back.
That's the type of whole ass nigga he is. I can tell
Ghosted
you about
on me. Hard. Wack, what up?
That's the type of dude he is. That's the type of dude he is, bro.
Damn, that's crazy. Do you think that, like, are you at the stage in your life where anything could ever happen where y'all would just link up and run the fade or whatever, or have any sort of conflict? Like, is that even something that you think could happen at this point?
I don't discuss violence
right
via media.
That's smart.
You know what I'm saying? Hoes is hoes. They out here. We call spades spades. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
If you look through my history, a lot of incidents you could point to, let you know I ain't scared of no confrontation. Am I looking to do anything to anyone harmful? No. Am I looking to have any kind of physical altercation with anyone? No.
Good.
Period.
Let's keep it that way. Let's just keep it to the internet, right?
Yeah.